still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, would you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the moment for those who.
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
But I promise you, baby,
All right. So now we have a little bit of sound, guys. Sorry about that. What the shit? So this is what I'm working with. And let me know if you guys can hear me, because I can see the audio bar going across the bottom here. So, sound off if you hear me. Anybody? Anybody? I really don't want to sit here and work with this damn thing on my head. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Finally. Okay, so we have sound at least now. Holy shit. All right, so basically what happened, or at least what I think is happening, is that I used this as my mic last night for those Gundam Guys stream. And see, we were on Google Hangouts. We didn't have anything to do with the streaming software. I unplugged this, put it over there. No thoughts, no worries. The webcam never became unplugged. The webcam was specified as the default microphone, not only in Streamlabs OBS, but also in the default recording dealies, the default recording devices in Windows, which I don't understand. So now, between now and whenever the next stream is, I'm going to have to figure this out. Fuck! Anyway, welcome to the stream, guys. God, I look like a goddamn idiot with this thing on. Who wants to play some Fortnite? Anyway, I digress. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties there in the beginning. Sorry for looking like a stone cold idiot right now, but hey, it is what it is. So let's get this stream started, shall we? Hey, welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream, even though we're 11 minutes in after technical difficulties. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha, king of all audio devices. Man, so last night was just an absolute ton of fun. It was just such a good time. If you guys haven't watched the those Gundam Guys stream from last night, you got to. It's such a good, entertaining 2 hours. I'm going to tell you that much right now. Having a group of smart-ass modelers in a group together and just kind of playing off of each other, so much fun. So I'm even more kind of jazzed right now to go to SCGMC than I was just yesterday before the stream. So, man, it was such a good time, man. I just, wish we could do that every night. It was so good. It was so fun. So catch that on those Gundam Guys. SCGMC is on November 10th. It was so good. So funny. But, hey, let's get this stream started on hopefully a better foot now. Chisel Discipline. You need one of these. Remember, put the cap on your chisel. These are available in the Child of Mecha store. Hit up childofmecha.com. Hit the store up at the top. You'll find t-shirts, hats, bags, all that good stuff. Also, too, you can win this model. This one right here. If you enter the Gunpla Talk fundraiser / giveaway that we're putting on, raising money for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. It's a good time. It's a good cause. It's a great charity. One lucky winner will win that very model. 6 other winners will win the little miniature resin bust from our good friend Win, the paint pusher over there on Facebook, and 3 more people will win some really cool model kits from our friend Dwidget over here on YouTube, and he's also known as Thurno Hobbies and Games over on Facebook. He donated some really cool stuff. Hopefully, excuse me. Um, our friend Ace Schultz should be having some other prizes and things coming through as well, hopefully by the end of the month. The cutoff is October 31st. So if you guys have not entered, now's the right time. Now is the right time to do it because your chances of winning are just becoming that much greater at this point, right? So, what else? Oh yeah, all the tools and everything that you see me working with tonight are available right down below on YouTube in that good old Amazon link, or on this side over on Facebook. And there's a bunch of tools that I've already sourced for you guys, a lot of things that will be um, working with tonight, and then there's also a bunch of books on there to help you get some inspiration for your next project, and then also the streaming gear that we use to make this stream and Goblet Talk possible. So go check that out, hit that up. You might find something that you really might need or not know about that you might need. So go do that. All right, real quick, we're just going to zip through this. The clearance items. Haven't been able to put a ton up there as of yet. Just trying to find some good homes for these things. These are things that I've had kind of in storage back when I had a Diamond Select account back in the day, back in the early 2000s, and these things need to find a good home. Just want to try to move these as quickly as possible, because flying out to California doesn't pay for itself. So without any further ado, let's go to Do we have audio now? Okay. Oh my God. Put a gun to my head and pull the trigger, everybody. Because that's what kind of night we're dealing with right now. Son of a bitch. All right, so I know what it is. Let's copy that. How about now? All right. Son of a bitch. No, it's the. Okay, so for those of you that don't don't know how the streaming softwares work, specifically Streamlabs OBS, there are different scenes that you need to designate audio to. So I designated the audio to one camera, but not the two camera setup. So fuck my life. Jesus. This one's fighting me tonight, you guys, and I apologize for that. Let's do that one more time. All right. So, Gundam F91, still sealed, still awesome, still got the little bandy things, twisty ties all around there. That's what you get. Bada boom, bada bing, we're done. Cool. All right. Quickest review of a frickin' figure ever. All right. Hope you guys are getting some enjoyment out of my pain. It's my pain today. God damn it. All right. So hopefully, Virtual 117, time to place bets on when the audio cuts out over there on Twitch. That's funny. That's funny. Nice. Oh my. Nah, you know what? Blue Flash 1982 over there on Twitch. I like Streamlabs OBS. It's done me proud so far, so I can't complain. And I don't necessarily think it's Streamlabs OBS fault. I think it has to do with this thing that I used last night, and I designated this as the audio, the recording device on Google Hangouts, so I think that has something to do with it. So I will have to dig deep and figure out what changed, because like I said, everything in the recording devices seemed to look fine and nothing was muted. Levels were fine. The default recording device was the webcam. Like I said, this thing wasn't even plugged in. The little dongle antenna dealy wasn't even plugged in, and it was sitting over the other side, right? So I don't think it was Streamlabs OBS. I think it was just I think it was this thing. Yep, playing tricks on me. Son of a bitch. Anyway, let's get to work. I'm done with audio issues. All right, so guys, this is the jump pack thus far. I think so far it looks pretty good, right? Pretty good. So let's take a look at some of the things that we have improved upon since last we spoke. So the front here, I beveled up. Hey, Kevin Chure, thank you for the subscribe. Wow, I'm getting subscribes even during, like, fuck my life technical difficulties. Respect. That's awesome. Thank you. Welcome to the family. Thank you for watching, even through these tough times. All right, so you guys, built this up, beveled it, obviously with some epoxy putty. I kind of like that and kind of stubby kind of look to that. It's just man, I just like that, right? I didn't want anything pointy. I didn't want anything roundy. So yeah, I kind of dig that look, and obviously both to match, right? And then gave it some thruster bells down here at the bottom. So these just are mounted to these styrene tubes that I just kind of built up. And funny enough, we had gone over last Friday's stream. We had looked in kind of my parts bins and stuff like that. And this was one of the parts that I actually found in there. So it was kind of advantageous. Word of the day. Advantageous. Triple word score, people. Don't forget that. So just kind of drilled out this thruster bell here. That was another thing from the parts bin. Drilled out corresponding hole there. This just kind of slots in right, nice and neat. And there is that, right? Super cool. And then on the inside, since this thing is very bare on the inside, I pulled out a oldie but goodie trick and used one of these inflation needles as kind of a thruster insert, if you will. And so that thing just, come on, just pops right in a drilled out little hole there. And that just gives some really nice looking detail right in there. So I dig that a lot. I dig it a lot. So pop that out here for the time being, and let me show you real quick. Now, we had, excuse me, we had gone over how to make one of these several streams ago, right? So all you got to do is use a hammer or something heavy to pound the needle back through the inflation needle's body. So basically, you're just pounding the needle back through here to kind of get that, you know, look, right? Kind of a thrustery mechanical look. I don't know how else to explain it. So, and then you just clip the excess needle off. You drill a corresponding hole in the thingy here, and then you put the thingy in the thingy, and you got a cool looking thingy. That's what we got, right? So that's what we did. And then what I've been working on a lot this weekend was detailing this little guy. Started at the bottom and just kind of worked my way up. Just got some nice, decent little details down here, little coatable Kia parts here and there, some strapping, some scribing. Still scribing on this. We're going to continue to work on this a little bit tonight. And what I did was overlapped this piece here to catch the bottom of the mounting rack, and then obviously there's another piece up on top here to catch the top part. So this thing actually is quite nice and square, nice and even on this. Very little flex, so that'll be helpful when it comes time to glue all this stuff up. And this all fits nice and snugly together in just like this right here. Just like that. That's a good look. I like that look. That is a good look, if I do say so myself. And then, obviously, it just pops right on to the Jesta itself using magnets. And there we go. You got yourself a jump pack. And obviously there's going to be a point here, a support point for the two back parachutes, right? And then there's going to be 2 points right here on the shoulder as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. Really good stuff. Let's see. Closing some stuff out here real quick. Soravon is holding it down over there on Twitch. Thank you, Soravon, for the assist on that. Appreciate that, buddy. As always, sometimes there's never a dull moment on the Twitch, right? Interesting stuff. Anyway, so that's what this thing looks like, man. And this thing, the more and more I look at how this Jesta has kind of come together, just the more just badass this thing looks, right? That's intimidating. I mean, you got this crazy looking shield with the teeth on here that'll just mess your day up. You got this full on unload on you, kind of box clip and the whole nine. So really good stuff. And like I said, you know, all this stuff, all the backpack and everything just pops off. That's all just done up with magnets. So you get the stock backpack still pretty much intact, just with some minor details and things, right? So pretty good. Pretty good. So we can convert this back when it's not being dropped to a nice, just straight vanilla Jesta look. So let's get this part back on here, and we're going to put the Jesta off to the side. Let's continue to work here a little bit. But before we do that, oh man, let's say hi. Let's say hi to everybody. Let's go back to one stream. Let's go over to, let's check in with Facebook first. Let's see. Johnny's over there. He says, stop being so hard on yourself. These things happen. Yeah, sometimes. Scott Walker is over there. First time watcher. Hey, thanks for watching, Scott. Appreciate that, buddy. Welcome to the stream. That's awesome. He says, I've been into Gunpla for about a year, painting and scribing a bit, looking to get into plate work and mods. Well, you've come to the right place, my friend, because that's what we do here. That's what we do. So we're going to be working on some of those things tonight. Maybe not all of that, but we're definitely going to be detailing and things of that nature, and we're going to get into it here in just a bit after we say hi to everybody in the chat. Virgil117 over there on Twitch. I'm about to do that. Kit, and anything I should know before I start that can be annoying or frustrating? The only thing that could be annoying or frustrating are the hands. Yeah, the hands. Simply because they're articulated, fully articulated. You do have to clip out each individual digit. You have to, clean all those nubs up because, I mean, you've got at least three nubs on each finger that you have to clean up. So that does get a little bit tedious, and especially with working with such small areas, that is annoying, right? The other thing about the hands is that the ball on the wrist that connects into the polycap on the arm is not solid. It's actually a two-part design, which is weird because that ball basically stays in the socket and the hand comes off, so you're just left with this little peg that you have to kind of thread to into that ball stuck in the thing. Later designs of the same hand were improved because the Sinanju Stein, and I'm assuming the other Sinanju variations, used the exact same hand design that the Jesta used. Size, design, everything is the same. I was a little surprised by seeing that, but that is the case. So that's kind of the only thing that's really annoying. Otherwise, it's a completely solid kit. I love the kit, and it's just been a joy to work with and modify and kind of detail up and everything like that. So you'll have a lot of fun other than the hands. So let's see what else. Furubeoi. Man, you know what? If you guys missed those Gundam Guys live stream last night, Furubeoi wanted to auction me off and sell me into slavery. I just don't know what to think about that. So yeah, RF Aurora, he was there too. He was in on the act. Those two together. I think they have something planned for SCGMC for me. I might have to watch my back. So That's fun, right? Let's see. Freddie Torres is with us, and I saw Gizmo Con Gunpla a little bit earlier. I know Bailey is with us as always. Caught his live stream this morning over on Instagram. That was really cool. RF Aurora, I claim innocence. Motherfucker, you're not innocent. Get out of here. William Wilms, he's with us. Julius Dembski, it looks great. I sure we will all be flabbergasted after it's painted and on its stand. Great job. Hey, thank you, Julius. Appreciate that, brother. RF Aurora asked a little bit earlier, new headset. No, actually, this is an old headset. This thing is, God, I want to say at least 10 years old. But it's the only damn audio that I have working tonight, so that's what it is. Vincent Long is with us, still priming and sanding Master Grade Psycho Zaku backpack. Also booked my trip for SCGMC. See you in California. Nice! That's awesome, Vincent. Can't wait for that, brother. It'll be really cool to meet you, man. So, good stuff. It'll be such a good time. Seriously, it'll be such a good time. Astria Kai, Tim, it needs a shotgun. The Jesta? Nah, the Jesta's not a shotgun. It's not a shotgun mech. Yeah, just not. Terry T is with us. Anthony is with us as well. Welcome, guys. Steve Middendorf is also on here. Blue Flash 1982, we talked a little bit earlier. Kenneth Sim is with us. Hey, what's going on, Kenneth? Super Toki is over there on Twitch. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Man, just a good number of you. Biggie Pauls. Biggie Pauls is here. That's my boy. Let's see. Bunch of people were chiming in when we had no audio. God damn. That's still just... That kills me. That just kills me. Anyway, caught up. Let's continue to let's get this working, right? Fudapeoi. No Tims will be raffled at SCGMC, but RF Auroras on the other hand, no clue. Nice. Nice. I like that. I like it a lot. All right. So Anthony says, hey Tim, what hands do you recommend for the RE Yak Doga? This factory hands suck and they are super big. I love the Kotobukiya hands, the static hands. You got to make sure you get the 1/100 hands. And those I've used on the Hummingbird. I use those on the Aussie. I use those on the Blue Destiny. And they just are really, really great. They come in kind of several different flavors. But the main thing that you have to keep in mind is that they have to be 1/100 scale, because anything that's not marked 1/100 scale is basically for their frame arms kits, which are smaller in size natively compared to, say, a 1/100 scale, Gundam or the Yak Doga. So you have to keep that stuff in mind. They come in kind of square hands, square fingers, like Federation style. They also come in more round digits for the Xeon style mechs, Zaku's, Gelgoogs, Doms, etc. Yeah, I highly, highly, highly recommend the Kotobukiya fixed posed hands. I've got like 3 or 4 of them sitting over there on the pegboard behind the computer, and I just absolutely love them. So if you can get those, that's what I would recommend above all else. So Gunso Gunpla over there on Twitch, he says, ahoy. Ahoy, Captain. Thank you for reporting for duty. RF Aurora, dang caps. He's like, I'm off the table. Yeah, right. We're going to sell your ass into slavery, son. You don't threaten me with slavery and get away with it every single day of the week. That ain't going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. Let's try this one more time, guys. And if this audio fails, then I might take this to my wrist. Just let's see. To camera. Hold your breath. Audio. Yes, we have audio. My grandmother, rest her soul, used to say to me, Tim, be thankful of minor miracles. And just having audio on this 2-camera setup right now is a minor miracle. Let's go with that. All right, so guys, what we got going on here? Let's get super zoomed in on this, shall we? Because that's something we didn't have at our disposal last night was super zoom. One of my trademarks, super zoom. Get in it. All right, get the box. Get that going. Come on. Where's the focus? Ooh, that focus right, cha. Gunzo Gumpla, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Welcome to the family. That's awesome. All right, so 5x. Booyah. Here we go. Okay, so now we can see with a little bit greater detail here some of the things that we have done to this little middle backpack part here, right? And where's my bamboo pointer? Here we go. All right, so let's see. These parts here, this is recessed actually. I plated the sides here with 1/4 millimeter plate, and this is all just kind of sanded nice and flush, and this is nicely recessed to fit perfectly right like that. Look at that. That just like a glove, right? So that's looking good there. On the bottom here, we've got some nice plating detail. Just a couple 1 millimeter strips all the way around. This one obviously is beveled on the 2 sides and then chamfered all the way around. This one is a nice looking square piece to accept this venti thing, and this obviously overhangs to catch the frame. And we've got some nice little strapping detail coming up from this bottom plate here. And that's, as you can see, is only, where'd the sticky thing go? There it is. So it's only chamfered on this side of the strip, and then it's only chamfered on this side of the strip. So that's kind of something, kind of a new look that I'm trying out, right? And then on the sides here, this is this piece right here is 0.3 millimeter plate, and that's just obviously laminated onto the sides, outline scribed just to give it a bit more depth. This is about 1.5 millimeter border all the way around, and then it's got a nice little recessed, pin, sewing pin right there on both sides to match, just to give it a little oomph, right? Little chutzpah, as they say. We've got some nice kind of big kind of looking strapping detail right there. Let's get a little focused going. And these are all kind of, this is tapered in this shape, and this is all heavily chamfered and everything like that. And then even on the back, you can kind of see how this corner right here is chamfered in. Now, granted, you'll probably never see that, but when this is taken off, you'll be able to see that those bevels and chamfers quite nicely. And then just earlier today, I finished this off with a nice kind of box scribe all the way down. It just wraps all. Whoop, get on camera there. It just wraps all the way from the back, all the way to the front, to the front, to the front, all the way down to right here. And then got a nice horizontal line there to close up the box, and that's kind of where we are right now with this thing. We're going to continue to detail this thing. We've got some more scribing and things like that to do. We are going to take a look at all that stuff, but first, let's get the hell out of Super Zoom. Get rid of that damn box, and then there we go. Rock and roll. Guns and Gunplo, man, it's immaculate. I really struggle maintaining angled corners when sanding. Edges always soften. This is mastery. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the the biggest thing when it comes to sanding is to constantly check, because that's honestly one of the hardest things for me. And if you were to set up a right angle on all of the corners on this, you'd probably find some surfaces that were not perfectly 90 degrees. And that's a huge, huge challenge when you're laminating things and you've got different variances with the glue underneath, making kind of, peaks and valleys on the piece and everything like that. And it is super hard. And anybody tells you otherwise, they're just lying to you. So you're not alone in that. Granted. But the big thing is to, like I said, make sure to constantly check. So, I've got the little wave T-square. I constantly check square all the way around on the different surfaces. Even, registering it to the back here. This is, that's 100% square on that side. Flip it around, and that's 100% square on that side. So you have two square 90-degree sides, right? But then obviously once you start to wrap the plate around the shape, it can get away from you easily. So let's put it that way. But you got to be meticulous. So that's the thing. All right. So what else? What else are you guys saying? Biggie Paws, Chutzpah. Are you channeling my buddy now, Tim? What? Everybody knows what chutzpah is. What? You never had a grandmother from back in the old country? You gotta get some chutzpah. Nah. Beklempt. Anyway. So yeah. So this is what we're gonna do. So the idea tonight is to get some horizontal lines going on here to separate some of these panels up, get some notches and things like that, and then pull maybe a very simple box scribe down on this surface here. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Now, these scribes along the side are about 1 millimeter in from the absolute outside surface. So I don't want to necessarily bring these down on this surface here. I want to basically bring these in to give it a little bit more visual interest, right? Because even though we're trying for mechanical realism, aesthetic appeal is also very, very important. So with that being said, I believe the scribe is what, 12 wide? 14. This is 14 millimeters wide from line to line. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring that in. We're probably going to go 10. Well, maybe not. Maybe 12. Yeah, I think so. I think 12 sounds like a good number. Bring it in 1 millimeter on each side, and that'll give some, more visual interest to this scribe. Now, just so happens I had this little piece of Dymo here. Not Buddy. Bubby. Oh, you're Bubby. Did I? Oh, my bad. Reading is fundamental, right, Paulie? You're killing my shtick. Oh, Big Enrich, thank you for the follow on Twitch over there, buddy. Welcome to the family. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Yes, Bubba. Bubby. Bubba la Hetskelaveda. Oi. Gefilte fish. All that good stuff, right? Actually, I'm not Jewish. Nobody in my family's Jewish. I just knew Jewish people growing up. So that's kind of where I got the thing. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. Reading is hard. Oy vey. Thank you, Paulie. Damn it, now I'm dropping tools. This stream is fighting me tonight, you guys. And I'll be honest, the fact that you guys are still here tuning in amazes me. Really does. It amazes me. Alright, so we're going to win 12. So we need to dial the chopper in to 12 millimeters. And that's why this L square comes in so handy. We're going to get the stop block locked into place right there. And then we're going to get this piece cut, and that will be our scribing template. Pop that down, put that off to the side, and we're going to get rid of the chopper. We're going to push that back into its little hidey hole. We're going to bring this piece back in, and there's our template. Nice and square and even, looking good. 12 millimeters in length. That's what we want. So let's get this piece pulled off of this little guy here. Like that. Okay. Alright, so now the biggest thing with this is to make sure that this thing is perfectly centered. So that's where your T-square comes into play. We need to measure, and that's just over the 1 millimeter line. And that is also just over the 1 millimeter line. Now, for those of you tuning in for the first time, which I think there might be a few of you, we use these. This is an Optivisor. This is a very, very valuable tool. And to put this on my head, I need to take this thing off just real quick. So bear with me, guys. And I'm lucky enough that this thing actually fits quite nicely over this Optivisor, and it still gives me full range of motion for this thing. So basically what this does is it's magnifying lenses. Similar to binoculars, but you bring it down and man, you can see like into the quantum realm like Ant-Man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Very valuable tool. If you guys don't have one of these, you should probably consider picking one up. Very, very good. All right, so now we're going to bring our 0.15 scriber chisel in here. And we're going to get this chiseled up here. So let's get in on this. Start with the sides first. And pull that line right up to that existing horizontal line. And as I've said before, you want to let the chisel do all the work. Now, I know my regulars are like, yes, Tim, we've heard this time and time again. But there's some new folks in here tonight. So, it's for their benefit. So we let the chisel do the work. We get the sides scribed up first. And then we'll go after that long horizontal here in just a second. All right. So main thing is you don't want to go at this with a lot of pressure. You want, like I said, the chisel to do the work for you. And you want to do this in a bunch of light passes. All right. Then you overscribe just a little bit, just enough to where your horizontal scribe will be connected. So what I mean by overscribe is you want to scribe over the point of your template. So go beyond just a little bit, just a hair. And then what you can do
is simply connect those two verticals with your horizontal line. Now, if you can hear the actual scribing, you can hear that it's kind of chirping at me, meaning that the chisel is skipping along the bottom of this line, of this panel line, and that's not necessarily ideal. You would ideally want it to be kind of one smooth motion, one smooth sound. That's going to make you basically, that's going to indicate that you have a nice smooth channel in the plastic. And the reason why you want that is so that the panel line wash of your choice flows that much better into those panel lines. Because the fluid will take the path of least resistance, right? So if it's coming up against peaks and valleys in that panel line, it will have a harder time flowing through those lines, right? So there you go. Gunza Gumpla dropped his 0.15 chisel. That's not good. That's not a fun thing. R for Aurora, give us some more of that scribing ASMR. Oh my god. Oh, did it blur out Fudabewi? My bad. Maybe you guys shouldn't have suggested selling me into slavery last night. Maybe I would have kept my big head out of the camera. But I kid. I kid these guys. These guys are good. Alright, so we'll peel off the tape, reveal what we have, and we should have a nice, clean box scribe here. So, let's zoom in as tightly as possible, and let's see if we can catch some shadows on this thing. And I think we're going to need super zoom. Let's get the super zoom. Alright. So there's our completed box scribe. Very simple. It's just a rectangle. Nothing crazy. We're going to fancy it up here now with some notches and things of that nature. We're going to do some different horizontals along the top and the front here as well. So we're going to get to work on that here right now. Let's turn the box off. Let's get back to what we're doing. Let's see this. What is this? Hearing a luxury tonight on the stream, huh? What do you mean, Paulie? I don't know. Dude, Optivisor and earphones are our perfect combo. Now you can see your pin and listen to while sneaking a quick rub. Paulie. Come on, man. Jesus. Anyway. Yeah, Paulie's being crass. But what can I say? I still love Paulie. He's my Paulie girl. Looks like Cyclops from the X-Men. Damn it, Julius. Damn it, Julius. Now we have to see this. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I see it. And now we can't unsee it. God damn it. Thanks, Julius. Appreciate that. Let's go back to 2. Here we go. Now that we've had our fun. Actually, you know what I think I look like? You guys remember
most of you might not be old enough for this. But there was a character in Final Fantasy VII. He had the spear, and he drove the airship. I forget the guy's name. It's been so long since I played that game. But that's kind of what that's the vibe that I'm getting, you know? Maybe not. I don't know. Sid. Thank you, Anthony. Sid. Hey, Schultz. Sid. Furubeoi. Sid. Actually, Sid? Gunsa Gumpla. Ya boy, Sid. Thank you, Gunsa Gumpla. Thank you, guys. Ace. Schultz says High Sid Highwind. Was that his name? I don't even know. I hope someone screen capture that. It's our next Gumpla meme. Thank you, Jonathan. You dick. Bailey says I'm not old enough, but I was N64, not PS1. You got old jokes. Okay. All right. All right. We got old jokes. Everybody's piling up on me tonight. That's cool. Pile up on Tim, right? We'll see who has the last laugh. Pull a full-on ASMR stream and just whisper to you guys, "Hey guys, we're gonna do scribing." Jeez. Oh, what's the world coming to? I have no idea. Anyway, let's get some notches into this guy here. So, for those of you just watching for the first time, any cutoffs that you have from Dymo tape, I highly suggest saving those in like a little plastic box like this, because you never know when they're going to come in handy. And I utilize that kind of stash very often. Like tonight, I'm going to utilize that here right now, actually, because we're going to use this little piece of Dymo tape, and we're going to actually kind of have this guy do double duty here for us. Actually, you know what? Now that I look at it, I think we're gonna go a different route with this guy. All right. Ooh. Let's get this popped on here. We're going to center this as best as we can. And we're gonna get some nice beefy notches scribed into this guy. All right, but first we got to make sure that this is properly centered. So we're going what? About 3.5 from the outer surface. That's 3.5 from the outer surface. So it's looking good. All right, cool. So we're gonna get the 0.50. 0.50. Now, if you guys have ever seen the wonderful movie called Snatch with Brad Pitt and what's his name? Jonathan Statham. Wonderful movie. Probably a classic in modern cinema. You understand the significance of 0.50. Bullet Tooth Tony, you guys. Bullet Tooth Tony. All right, so we're gonna pull some nice big beefy notches here on this surface, and then we're gonna wrap them around to the front surface. Okay, so that's the first one there.
let's get this other side going. Okay, so that's the first surface. We've gotten the notches scribed on this surface. Now we're going to peel the tape off here, transfer it up here. We're going to wrap these just a little bit up on to the front surface here as well. Everybody loves that movie, Snatch. Such a good movie, man. Like Brad Pitt, man, say what you will about Brad Pitt, but that dude deserved an Oscar for for his portrayal of a gypsy in that movie. Does your chisel say replica on the side, Tim? No. Mine says Desert Eagle 0.50. Oh, God. Bullet Tooth Tony was the best. God, when he was dragging that dude in the car out the window. Ugh. He was playing the Madonna song, and he's just like, oh, I love this track. I think that was Vinnie Jones' probably best work. And he answers the phone, and he says, bonjour. Like, what? Why bonjour, right? Like, you're not French, dude. Come on. It's just an absolute classic movie that was. Really, really highly recommended, you guys. All right. We're gonna do something a little bit out of the ordinary here. We're going to freehand this other scribe here, which you probably shouldn't do if you're just starting out. Okay. Because when I went to reposition, the tape, it was not perfectly in alignment, which sucks. And I think one side was a bit wider than the other, so that didn't help either. So, kind of freehand this front notch here. But once we're done with it, you will never know. There we go. Yeah. All right. Let's get zoomed into this. See what this looks like up close and personal. There we go. So obviously, this needs to be cleaned up. Needs to be sanded. Needs to be just totally cleaned. But you get the idea of kind of what we're doing here. And we could even kind of go back here and get the gunk out of this. This is where an old toothbrush comes in really, really handy, you guys. So, yeah. So some nice, nice beefy looking notches there. And for those that don't kind of understand what notches represent, they are kind of scale representations of latches and things like that. So lockdowns, tie downs, things of that nature. You would find your locking mechanisms for the panels where these notches are. And they can come in a bunch of different shapes, sizes, things of that nature. These are two perpendicular notches, and usually they come in a pair. Sometimes more than that, depending on the length of the panel line that you're scribing or working with. You can also have a parallel notch as well, either right up against the actual panel line or a little offset, which is called a floating notch. Those are both very, very common. You can also have floating perpendicular notches, but I personally don't see that as often. I don't necessarily have a problem with them. They're just not that common in your kind of Gundam designs and things. So the most common ones are the perpendicular right off the panel line, and then also your parallel long notch right on the panel line as well. That's your most common. And we've employed that pretty heavily on the Jesta scribing as well. So you can kind of take a look back at those images and streams and stuff like that to see that. So that's what we're going with kind of right now. But this thing needs a little bit more character right up here, kind of on this front 3/4 point right there. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Maybe a horizontal line or two. Just something tasteful, right? So let's get this out of super zoom. Let's get back to work. Get rid of that box. And all right, so let's go with some horizontal lines now. Now, easily you can use your T-square. You can just basically line this up right along the side here, and you can really just use this and you can scribe a line just like that if you wanted. You can also use Dymo tape. You can also use something just like a little piece of styrene strip, anything like that. And also, too, if you're new to the stream, which I think some of you are, it's incredibly useful to make what are called scribing jigs. That may be a new concept, but it really kind of harkens to the world of woodworking, because woodworkers use jigs for alignments, for cutting, for gluing, all sorts of different processes and things. But what scribing jigs are, they can be something as simple as two plastic strips here glued into an L shape, right? So you have your constant thickness here, and then you just have your ledge right here, right? So what you would do is you would just pop this onto an edge like this, and then now you can use your chisel and you can just scribe right along this surface, and it's going to be a constant thickness all the way down. Now obviously you don't have to have it this short for something like this. You can make it pretty long, right? And you can also make it in a bunch of different shapes. This one here is more in the line of a T, because this is basically a mirrored scribing jig. And this is the shape that I wanted to scribe into something, but it needed to be mirrored. So with it having a ledge here, but then also a ledge on this side, I could hang it on to either orientation. So scribing jigs are super, super useful. So if you guys are new, go back, watch some of the earlier streams where I kind of talk about that a little bit more, and that'll be super, super useful for you guys. All right, but right now we're just going to use the T-square. We're just going to get really kind of simple with this. So I want a line right close to that that corner there. And yeah, I like that right there. And so now we're going to pull this line here. Okay, so that looks nice right like that. And make sure you get out all of the debris from your lines, because you could have what's called ramping, and that's the buildup of debris in your panel lines. And what that'll do is, just like a kind of like a motocross ramp is built up of dirt, this is built up of plastic, scribing debris. And what that might do is, if you hit that ramp, your chisel will pop out of the line and then mar the rest of the surface. It'll scratch the surface, and that's not what you want. That's not a fun time, because then you have to go back and you have to fix the mistake, fill it with super glue or putty or what have you. You know what? And it's just best to do it right the first time. It's just easier that way. So make sure you get all of the debris out of your lines as best as you can before moving on, because that will reduce the chances, not eliminate, but reduce the chances of chisel ramping. All right. And so what we're trying to simulate here with these horizontal lines across these panels here is, what I envision is that where's the little pointer? There it is. So what I envision, this kind of bulbous looking shape right here, this kind of P looking shape. This is kind of where I would imagine that the parachutes would live, as they're folded and stuff. So you've got the securing points on the Jesta itself. But this would pop up, parachutes would deploy, this would pop back down. So that's kind of the idea for this part, right? So Steve Middendorf, mistakes build character. This is my half-retarded robot Jeff. Oh my. Alrighty then. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to do the same thing to this surface here. And it would be great if the camera was in focus. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we're going to use the T-square again. We're just going to make it really nice and simple. About the same distance from that corner as the line we just scribed. So right about there, I think, looks good. Okay. Get that started, and then we can go back and get that panel line a lot deeper. Get it to the depth that we want it to. Okay. Clear out that debris, like I was talking about. That builds up very quickly, actually. Okay. Alright, so that looks really, really quite nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sand this thing up. We're going to clean it up, make it look all pretty. So, for those of you that have not watched us before, this is where our little basin of water comes into play. We're going to be doing wet sanding. And the reason why we wet sand as opposed to just normal dry sanding is number one, that it keeps down the breathing in plastic dust. That just will not end in a good time, right? Second is you get a much smoother finish when you wet sand as opposed to just straight dry sanding with the dust and all that kicked up. So that's why I prefer wet sanding over just kind of your normal dry sanding. So we just dip your waterproof sandpaper in water and basically just go to town. This is the same practice as just normal sanding, but with water. Very simple. And like I said, it leaves a much, much smoother surface. You know, if you were to compare, say, 400 grit dry to 400 grit wet, you will absolutely notice how much smoother wet sanding actually is. Now, as you get into the higher grits, it's a little less noticeable, but the fact remains is that the water helps to keep your sandpaper clean as well. So especially with higher grits, you know, your 1500, 2000, 3000, that if you just go dry sanding with that, that's going to build up sanding debris in that sandpaper, and you're basically going to lose the grit. It's just going to become like smooth, and that negates the process quite simply. So wet sanding helps to keep the sandpaper clean, and like I said, gives a much, much smoother surface as well. So the benefits of wet sanding are massive. The downsides, just using water, minimal, in my opinion. So that's why we wet sand. And you do want to be careful so you don't round over any important hard surfaces. Because once you round those over, it is tedious and it could be challenging to get those surfaces sharp again. So you do need to be very careful of small flat surfaces. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're just going to rinse that off in some water here. And let's dry this up. Oh, look at that, guys. It's Dean's birthday. Everybody say happy birthday, Dean. Happy birthday, Dean. All right. So that looks good there. Let's take the old toothbrush to this thing. Let's get these panel lines nice and clear. And then we can kind of really admire the work that we've done. Now we still might need to take the chisel to this thing and clear out any kind of leftover debris and stuff like that, just to be on the safe side. So let's take a look here and let's see. Yeah, we're gonna just kind of go back over some of these scribes. Alright, this is looking quite nice. Alright, so there we go. We've got our kind of finalized look to this box. Let's take a look at it under super zoom. Let's see, let's get the box pulled in and 5x, here we go, bang. Alright, we'll focus that right there. That looks pretty good, yeah? That looks even better. There we go. Alright. So, as you can see, let's get this little debris wiped away there. Nice little box down there on that surface. There's our big beefy notches there. We've got our two horizontal lines there. That's a little out of focus, obviously, but all sanded up, cleaned up. So fresh, so clean. Nice. All right, rock and roll. Let's move on. Okay. So now let's take a look and see what we did here to change the look. Obviously, scribing and stuff like that isn't going to change the look dramatically, but you know, I like to kind of pre-assemble the parts here just to make sure I'm kind of in the right ballpark stylistically, along with everything else. So that, I think, looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that's gonna make for a pretty good look. And I don't want to do anything else to this section up here. I want that pretty barren. And I think that looks good. I think that's enough detail for this. I've heard some people say, I can't stand an empty space. And while that may be true, I can definitely show discipline when it comes to detailing. So there we go. All right, so we are pretty much done with this middle box shape. I think that came out really quite nice, and we're just going to set this off to the side. So we're gonna call that done. Let's focus on these guys here a little bit. We're going to pull these thruster bells off. We don't need these right now because those are going to stay as is. But what I want to do is do a little bit of scribing on this. Man, this thing is killing my ears right now, you guys. This is why I don't use headsets for streaming. Not comfortable. Not at all. All right. So we're going to do an outline scribe on this strap right here that just kind of goes around. Very, very simple. You just follow the guide of the plastic itself. Now, the reasoning behind an outline scribe, like what we're doing right here, is to enhance the visual depth of the piece itself. Because when you go to panel line wash this, it will obviously fill in this panel line, and it'll create kind of like a fake shadow, right? And it'll look like that piece is kind of a separate a separate part as opposed to the main tank for this, this booster here. And that's essentially what we're trying to simulate, is that these parts are not just, like I said, surface glued on to the piece. We want them to look assembled from multiple pieces. So that's the theory kind of behind outline scribing. Helps with the illusion. Okay, there we go. Guns of Gunpla. Decals go in empty spaces. That's a very good point. It's a very good point. And I like me some decals. Let's see. Dean says after like 6 streams, it's still the backpack. Yeah, man. Try scratch building something like this, and you'll understand. You'll absolutely understand. William, suffer through the pain, Tim. It is for the followers. You don't want to disappoint them. Nice. I appreciate that. Biggie Paws, damn, Super Saiyan 3 Goku just instant transmitted from my workbench to the floor. Wah, wah. Sorry to hear that, Paulie. Guns of Gunpla. I love me some Haikyuu decals. Nice. Nice. So do I. They're up there somewhere. Yeah. Haikyuu decals, guys, if you don't know, they are pretty much the highest quality water slide decal that you can get on the market right now. The clarity, the quality, the overall design of them are just absolutely superior to pretty much anything out there right now. In terms of, third-party kind of aftermarket style decals. I mean, they're even, obviously superior to Bandai's limited attempt at water slide decals. And even when you zoom in, even to the smallest decal, you can still read them. And what's really respectable is that the language comprised within each decal actually makes sense. I know we've all probably seen your English decals and things like that, but man, these are 100% full on, just dead to rights accurate. They're amazing. RB0, yes, RB01, RB02. Those are my favorite sheets out of all of them. Guns of Gunpla, I think we're slowly becoming best friends. Yeah, those decals are absolutely amazing. And I use them quite extensively on every single build. Okay. That outline scribe is done and done. Let's get this one. Now, when you guys are using super glue to affix parts to other parts, you do have to be careful of the squeeze out, the glue squeeze out, because what's going to happen is, since that super glue is obviously going to be a much higher density than, say, your Tamiya Extra Thin, it's going to be a little harder to outline scribe when you've got super glue squeeze out. So you need to be fully aware of where the squeeze out is, and then also try to eliminate it if possible. So, if you need to take your hobby knife to it, or take a wider chisel maybe and just kind of clear that out, flatten the area out for your thinner chisel, then that's what you're basically going to have to do, because you want to help keep that panel line as straight as possible, or else you're going to have kind of bulges in your panel line, because the chisel is going to want to go around the super glue. So that's what it is. All right. Bailey says it doesn't take much to be better than Bandai's thick, bubbly water slides. Yeah, you're right. If I could get official logos and stuff like that, or if I could still print my own, man, I'd do that every single day of the week before I would buy Bandai water slides. So yeah. Guns of Gunpla over there on Twitch says best sheets, ditto. There's always room for them. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Here. Oh, where are my decals? Here we go. Yeah, dropping shit. Oh well. It happens. Decals for days. The DL decals, the Chinese brand, this one, is actually quite good in terms of decal quality, the thickness and the quality of the seal and everything. But obviously they're not high Q. They're not going to be high Q. But they're still pretty good, and I would still use them often, very often. Actually, I used the DL decals pretty heavily on the Ozymandias. The white ones are, I don't know, I didn't really experience so much see-through on the DLs. Because I use a lot of white, the combination white and orange. And I thought they looked really, really good on the Aussie. I thought they came out really quite nicely. So, A Schultz, I use those quite a bit. They are definitely not bad. Yeah. Bailey says, actually, now that you brought it up, have you tried Maha decals? I have not. Maha is a Korean company that does the really crazy photo etch kits, like for the GM Sniper 2, the new Gundam. I think they did this as Sinanju. Those really, really wild ones. That's done by Maha. And I've not tried their decals, honestly. And I really wouldn't know where to get them other than directly from Maha. But Bailey says they're very, very good. Might have to look into that. I might have to look into that. Guns of Gunpla says hard to see on some colors. It's experiencing that at the moment on my Nataku. Small white on dark green, kind of hard to see. Yeah, I put white on kind of the darker brown of the Aussie, and I thought they kind of pops pretty nice. So I don't know. It might be a variable quality thing. It just might be a QC, quality control type of thing. I don't know. But I got decent quality out of them. So Dean, take care, buddy. Happy birthday. Dean is signing off over there on YouTube. Steve Mindorf, I've only had problems with Bandai's water slides on the Sinanju Verka and the Hainu Verka. Yeah, well, I mean, they're Bandai. What do you expect? Like Bailey said, they're thick and bubbly. Like a college girl. Anyway, sorry to all you college girls out there in the audience. But yeah, high Q decals, man. You really cannot get much better than that. And also, as an added bonus, and I've not tried this service or know anybody that has tried this service, but evidently HiQ custom prints decals. But the last I checked, the site was completely in Japanese, and it just seemed overly complicated. So I don't know. If anybody out there has ever had any luck getting custom decals from HiQ, let me know, because I would be super interested in picking your brain and finding out what it entails, because that, if I can get quality custom decals from HiQ, oh man. I don't know if there's like a minimum purchase or what, you might have to buy 100 sheets. I don't know. But Tim Mather over in the UK hit me up on that one, because he's kind of like a decal fiend as well. And, birds of a feather and all. Yeah, so I'll have to look at, are we talking their personality or intelligence or what, Tim? I don't know. What are you talking about? Nice. Shield of Irons. You say thick and bubbly college girls. In the other stream I have. I have Ghost Woohoo. Hey, it's the perfect timing. What can I say, right? Guns of Gunpla, they have an international order form, and they were nice replying in English. Excellent. For normal parts, at least, they might be able to assist. Interesting. RF Aurora, Tim, find out and let us know. We need custom decal making options. I know, right? But Bailey, what were you talking about? Are we talking their personality or intelligence or what? I'm not following. I don't know. Give me more information. Okay. Wrapping up these border or these outline scribes here, that will look quite nice. Oh, college. Right. Okay. Now we the moment passed. Damn it. Sorry, B. My bad, dude. Oh man, Guns of Gunpla. I gotta go to bed. 5 a.m. almost. Thanks for the full instructional video. You're welcome, Guns of Gunpla. Good night. Good morning. 5 a.m. Wow. Oh, you must be over in the UK or someplace. Awesome. Well, good on you. Good night, sir. Yeah, sorry about that, Bailey. Yeah, the moment definitely passed. My bad. Whoopsie. Anyway, all right. So we've got our border scribe around these two straps, but as you can see, these booster tanks or whatever we want to call them are still very bare. They need a little something. Not crazy, just a little. Bailey says, anyway, I've also been meaning to check out Decal Factory from Korea too. Apparently they do ship international, but the shipping. Yes, and I actually follow Decal Factory on Facebook and Instagram, and I think it's one dude that prints and everything. Rob Ponte, good day. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for watching over there on Facebook. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm looking at Taz's Facebook page. Sorry, had to. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, Rob, aka Gundam Taz, over there on Instagram, man, does some insane weathering. So go follow him, Gundam Taz, on Instagram. Really, really good stuff. Sweet fuck all, mate. Just about to finish that 144 gun tank. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. If you don't follow him, he's, man, really, really, really good at weathering. And now I'm telling you that gun tank looks badass. So, Robbie, man, wonderful job on it. Can't wait to see that one done because that is looking super nice. So, yeah, Rob's a badass weather guy, man. So, go check him out on Instagram, would you? Do me a favor. Go follow him. All right, we're gonna need some more Dymo tape because what I want to do is make some kind of horizontal lines around the tank, right? Jonathan G, does anyone think the Maha photo etch sets are good or worth it? I've been tempted to get the Hainu set, but I don't have any experience with photo etch parts. Ooh, great question. So you're looking at kind of a double-edged sword with the Maha sets because reason why I say that is because if you've never worked with photo etch parts, you're basically jumping in the ocean without knowing how to swim. The Maha parts, similar to some of the more detailed resin parts kits like Anchoret and stuff like that include photo etch parts, can be incredibly complex, meaning that you need to create the bends in certain parts for them to fit together. You need to glue parts together, things like that. So they can be very, very complicated. And especially if you've never worked with photo etch parts before, they can be daunting. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy it, because from what I've seen, I don't have them myself, but from what I've seen, they are incredibly high quality. And I've heard nothing but good things from people that have those photo etch kits. So, weigh the pros and cons. You could always mess around with, smaller, less complicated photo etch parts. These sheets here. Like these little sheets here. You can get these, from a lot of places. These are the AW ones. Steel Soul, I think, is the series of these photo etch sheets. And these are great because these, basically, you just pop them off and you glue them onto your model with a little dab of super glue.
But yeah, the Maha sets along with some of the other ones that you get with resin kits can be pretty complicated. So you got to decide on that one. But yeah, I from the looks of it, I think they're well worth it. Let's put it that way. So Edwin RSA says, "Good morning, everyone. What's going on, Edwin?" Um, Bailey says, "Wait, I thought it was a master grade gun tank." Nah. Taz is working on a 144 gun tank. He says, "Cheers, brother. Finally got a chance to watch you work." That's awesome, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in. You know, we do these things every now and then, so glad you could tune in and watch, man. Glad you could tune in and watch. So, even though we got about maybe 10 minutes left, so man, just rewind it and watch the whole thing. Well worth it. We had some little technical difficulties in the beginning. That's why I'm wearing these stupid headset things, but we made it work, and it is what it is, right? William Williams, I just picked up those Ecopla. Ecopla? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Yeah, Robbie, time difference is a bitch, dude. Time difference is a bitch down there. But William Williams says gun can Copla gun cannon and gun tank. Interesting to rebuild these old kits with recycled plastic. Huh. Interesting. I've not heard of those. Bailey says USA Gundam Store has those photo etch sets, almost all of them. Yeah, and even I think Adam has the new ones too, like the stairs. I've seen a few people starting to use Ecopla. Thank you, Captain Weirdbeard. I appreciate that. The hyphen helps. But yeah, I think Adam has the new sets, the stairs and the parts that go on the what is it? The display stands. The I don't even know what they're called. Whatever. But yeah, I think he carries all of those Steel Soul Steel, whatever they're called, photo sheets, and they're really, really good. Really good. I got a stack of them, but I got mine from Taobao, so nobody tell Adam. It'll be our secret. Shh. Bailey says, yeah, Ecopla, all molded in black. What? I've not heard of this. What is Ecopla? Molded in black, like old. Are they old kits? What are they? This is new to me. I'm interested now. Someone explain. I need more information. I saw a Dio with the stairs. I think they are 144. They might be. They might be. I don't know. They might have different sizes for those photo etch stairs. Hard to say. Or they could be like one size fits all, or one size fits most kind of stairs, which would be a shame because kind of negates even getting them if they're a one size fits most. Bandai limited models using recycled styrene. Huh. Interesting. I did not know about these. Of course, I don't necessarily go seeking out that style of information. Space Rat 53, Ecopla used recycled Gunpla plastic. Huh. Interesting. So I wonder, did they just take like old models, like air, casts? Like if there's like an air bubble or the plastic didn't inject all the way into a part. Obviously, they can't sell that. So wonder if they melted all that down or if it was just actually completely recycled, like you throw like a soda bottle in the recycling, and that was what they used. It would be interesting. All the models should be recycled eventually, but I don't know if the coloring is a limitation or intentional. Interesting. Edwin RSA, yeah, Space Rat was right, but the Ecopla or recycled plastic is more expensive than completely brand new plastic. Yeah, I mean, that would, as as kind of ass backwards as that is, that kind of makes sense in a roundabout sort of way. And let's go back to one camera here, and let me take this thing off. Ugh. There we go. Ha. All right. So, and that sort of makes sense, right? Because yeah, and Bailey, you're absolutely right. It's completely unfortunate that recycled plastic costs more than brand new plastic right now. But you have to consider the breakdown of the recycled plastic to get that back into, a feasible material to, get into injection molding. So that takes a lot more work, obviously, than, your virgin plastic. So it's cool that they're doing that, but yeah, it's unfortunate that the kind of eco footprint is actually larger with their recycled materials than their brand new stuff. So you know what? Give it time. Technology will catch up, and hopefully it'll be worth it, right? We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys, it's 11:55. It's been one hell of a stream. One programming note that I have to tell everybody, there will not be a stream on Monday. Monday is a no-go at this point. The reason why is because the same reason why I had to cancel on Wednesday for work. So basically I have to go down to Virginia to a dealership to do a video shoot on Tuesday morning, and it's like almost 4 hours away from me. So I'm going down Monday night, staying the night, and then getting an early call to videotape this dealership and everything. So there will be no stream on Monday night, guys, but we will pick it back up on Wednesday of next week, and then we'll hopefully keep going, and hopefully we'll figure this thing out, because this is annoying, and technical difficulties are also annoying. So, let's wrap it up, shall we? Get your chiseled discipline shirt on childofmecha.com. In the store up at the top, hit that store button. You'll be transported to a plethora of shirts, hats, bags, etc. Also, the clearance section up there where you can pick up that guy and some other cool stuff, books and things like that I'm just basically trying to clear out of here. All of the things are brand new. Brand new. Never been looked through or rummaged through. All this stuff is brand new. Just take a look at the pictures and you'll see what I mean. Make sure you donate to the Gumpla Talk fundraiser / giveaway. 1 winner will win that. 6 winners will win the cool little resin busts from our good friend Win, the paint pusher over there on Facebook. 3 more winners will win some limited kits from our good friend Dwidget on YouTube, also known as Thurno Hobbies and Games on Facebook. And then we should be getting some additional prizes from our awesome friend Ace Schultz Berkanatir over on Facebook from It's a Gundam Sales on Facebook. So all that stuff should be coming very, very soon. We are going to be having Gumpla Talk tomorrow in about 9 hours from now. So we're going to have an interesting conversation. We're going to talk that article about In Pursuit of Mediocrity. From the New York Times. So we're going to discuss that tomorrow. It should be a very interesting conversation, because I think all of us have kind of a different, unique perspective on what it is, as a hobby, and then also in response to that particular article. So it should be really fun. It should be really interesting. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you get involved in the chat, because that'll be really cool. So that, like I said, that's 9 hours from now. So for some of you, it's a quick turnaround. For me, I know it's a quick turnaround. So we'll see that. Also, SCGMC is November 10th. That is slowly creeping up. Go watch those Gundam guys builder stream from last night. It's on their YouTube channel. I was on there. Just kind of tossing it up with those guys, and man, it was so much fun. We got to do that again. So, all right, guys. Also, the tools that you saw me use can be found in the Amazon link just below or over here on Facebook. Go check that out. A lot of stuff sourced out for you already. Some really cool books for inspiration for your next project, and then also some of the gear that I use here for the stream and also for Goblet Talk, right? So, with that being said, guys, if you're going to tune into Goblet Talk tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we're going to catch back up next week on Wednesday. No stream on Monday. We're going to meet back up on Wednesday, and we're going to get caught up. So hopefully I should have a lot of progress done by then. We'll see, right? So, all right, boys. Until next time, man, stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. Build something cool, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you later.